Hey guys, it is J Star Wars 360 here with an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. vlog review. Now, I know Rob said this about The Legend of Korra Beginnings, which by the way is an amazing episode and you should definitely check it out even if you haven't been watching Korra, but I digress. But anyway, I'm going to say this about this episode. This episode should have been called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's About Fucking Time, because that's pretty much describes this episode. This is what the show should be like. Fun, entertaining, plot shit's happening. Like, why can't the rest of the show be this good? Like, I really hope it keeps this momentum going. So anyway, quick summary in case you either didn't watch the episode or it's been a while and you forgot. This is the episode where this villain called L'Oreal comes to Earth and she's basically just ruling it because she can't rule in Asgard because lots of gods there. And L'Oreal, if you don't know, she's actually a villain from the comics, which is kind of cool for Thor fans. I have a few Thor comics. I haven't met her yet. It's like the first 20. It's one of those. There's these comics called Essentials, which basically contain like 20 to 30 issues of a superhero. In black and white, though, because it's cheaper to print that way. And I bought the first Essential 4 prior to Thor Dark World coming out. I thought I saw someone who was her in there, but apparently it's someone else. So yeah, that was kind of a cool nod to the comics. But here's the awesome part. Odin wanted her brought back, so she sent down Lady Sif. Yep, that's right. We have a character from the movies besides Coulson and that other agent, and the Nick Fury cameo in the show. And man, was this awesome. I mean, first off, Lady Sif really added something to the show. It was really fun to see the dynamic. Jamie Alexander did a great job. Like, it totally felt legit. It did not feel like some cheap crossover. Really like her. I really love the villain. And the actress playing her, I thought, did a really nice job. And also, these two characters led to some great fish out of water humor, which is always fun in the Thor movies. Plus, I just blanked out. Plus, I love the way they talk. Also, this should have been the follow-up to Thor the Dark World movie. Remember a few months back they did that episode where they were like, this episode is going to tie into Thor the Dark World, and it was just like a 5-second clip? That was lame. This, on the other hand, is an awesome tie-in. I mean, we have some nice nods to Thor the Dark World, mainly the fact that this villain arose due to the prison break from Thor the Dark World. By the way, I'm probably going to spoil Thor the Dark World in this video, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you might watch with caution, especially at the end. There's something I want to bring up, but at the end, so don't worry. So if you haven't seen it, you can just stop it when I say so. Relax, I know what I'm doing. I didn't really need to stop rambling. But anyway, back to the video. So yeah, and again, we had someone from Thor the Dark World. Point is, this really tied into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and this is what I wanted when I heard we were going to get some sort of tie into Thor the Dark World. Also, there was some really good action, both at the gas station and on the plane. Like, really some nice fighting. I mean, but to be fair, I think Jamie Alexander, she is a bit more experienced and does advanced stuff, so it was cool. Although we still had to deal with some kind of cheap effects, like I thought the beaming down to Earth was okay, but when Lady Sif she punched someone, I don't know, it looked kind of fake. But again, you have to deal with that on the low-budget show. One thing I didn't get at the gas station, though, is why didn't Ward shoot L'Oreal when he had the chance? I mean, she didn't say anything. He just said, you're coming with me. Just shoot her with the stun gun. I mean, don't you know she has mind-controlling powers? In the instant she says something, she can warp your mind, but again, maybe her very presence did it. I did like getting to see Vegas and Caesar's Palace, or as that guy from The Hangover says, Caesar's Papalache. Also, really surprised about that sex scene. I mean, when she said gift, I was like, wait, what is she? Is she just using him? But nope, she freaking gives him sex. I mean, oh my gosh, like, sorry, I mean, I know it's the villain, but come on, it's sex with a fucking goddess. That's like, but yeah, it was still really surprising to see that. I mean, I mean, in the previously on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they brought back Ward and May's relationship. I'm like, let me guess, things are gonna get heated. But the sex thing, oh my gosh. I'm surprised they even showed it, because with Ward and May, they just implied it and then confirmed it later. But it was off screen. Same thing with Sky and her friend. Like, it was a very off screen. The fact that they just showed it very explicitly really surprised me. And sorry for freaking out over sex in a show, but come on. How many dudes were turned on by that? Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully no one I know in real life is watching this is like, oh my gosh, he's turned on by all that commenting on sex. But anyway, back to the episode. So, let's see what else do I have to say. Again, fun action. There was some fun stuff on the ship. One thing I do kind of wish about that climax, well, first off, I like seeing all the agents working together, each doing something. I like the two fights we have going on between May and Ward and Sif and L'Oreal. That was cool. I do kind of wish it turned out Ward was just faking being mind controlled by L'Oreal and they would prove he was a strong man. And they was just waiting for the right moment. But, oh well. At least Coulson, I do like Coulson, though, when he realizes that Fitz has been brainwashed. I forget which one's Fitz and Sims, whatever. The British guy, you know which one I'm talking about. When he realizes he's been brainwashed, he's like, let me just play along. Oh, yeah. One thing that really bothered me at this episode, it bothered IGN too, I read their review, is that it seems like Ward really has feelings for Sky, and it's like, really, are we really going to have him wind up with Sky? Him and May are such an interesting couple, I mean. Also, not a big fan of love triangles. I mean, Legend of Korra screwed up did the love triangle twice, and it was awful. Hopefully they are done with it in season 3. We can just move past it. But point is that I swear, if Ward goes back to Sky, I will be really annoyed. I mean, he's so much better with May. But what are you gonna do? I do like the ending, though, when Ward's, like, talking to Sky. It seems like shit is finally happened. Not Ward. Coulson. He's like... he says some stuff, like, we're going to find out. We're going to find answers. I'm like, yes! Finally, shit is happening. Please just go in the next episode. I mean, I know I'm kind of mimicking Doug in the core box, but shoot, let's just get moving. I mean, sometimes the show feels like we're getting a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Just go! And it looks like hopefully we're finally going to get going. Because and it looks like May, she knows something at Coulson that she's not supposed to. Curious where that's going. But yeah, overall this is a really good episode. It was fun, action-packed. The references to Avengers were appropriate this time. I really hope the show keeps it up. Yeah, and so just keep it up. So for this next part, I'm just going to talk about some stuff that IGN point out and stuff. So if you don't care, you can stop watching at this point. First off, actually, before I say that, I just want to say this. I looked on Wikipedia to see when the air date of the next episode is. April, it's beginning of April. Once again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is taking another freaking hiatus. Why? Why are we taking... Why does this show need to take a hiatus? It's on April 1st, too. I mean, the only explanation I can think of is that next episode is gonna... Either next episode or the next episode is gonna tie into Captain America Winter Soldier. Because the next episode comes out the same week as Winter Soldier. And by the way, it's just mind-blowing that Winter Soldier is almost out. So excited, especially considering what John Campea said, and that's going to tie into Avengers 2. But I'm going to have myself, I'll talk about that and my thoughts going into Captain America Winter Soldier in a couple weeks. Seriously, a couple weeks, but anyway, back to the episode. So, here's a couple things IGN pointed out that I just wanted to bring up. First off, actually, before I get into that, I just want to say one thing that I kind of stunned me at first, but then I realized it. One thing that I thought was, if there's this dangerous criminal, why would you send Sif and not Thor? Or all Thor and all of his buddies. Like, it stumped me, and then I realized, wait a minute, they might just be doing it because it's cheaper to get Jamie Alexander, although they're all in the same universe, so I don't see how much more money it could cost. Plus, I don't know, but point is, the reason in the show the reason is because this woman can control men. So yeah, it would definitely make sense to send the God of Thunder to capture the person who can mind control people. Yeah. Definitely, yeah, because then she'd have Thor on her side. So it makes perfect sense to send a woman to capture the woman whose mind control powers don't work on women. So yeah, so now I'll get into the stuff IGN brought up that I want to bring up. One thing is that Lady Sif says Odin wanted L'Oreal. Now, I'm curious to know, when the writers were writing this episode, did they know that? I don't know if this is a goof on their part or if this is actually something cool, but if you've seen For the Dark World, stop watching here if you haven't seen it, because I'm going to spoil the ending. But if you remember from Thor the Dark World, Loki is currently impersonating as Odin, so I'm curious to know if that was intentional, or if it was just the writers, if the writers forgot Loki is now disguised as Odin, or if they remember. Because if they are, I'm curious to know where they're going with that. If Loki is just playing the part, or if he actually legitimately wants L'Oreal for something. It would be cool if L'Oreal showed up in Thor 3, because it would really help to tie the show to the movies even further. But yeah, who knows? Also, I noticed this in the episode, but I forgot about it, because these episodes are an hour long, and it's kind of hard for me to remember everything specifically that happens in an hour-long episode. But anyway, IGN pointed this out, which reminded me of this, which is that the agent Coulson was talking to said Nick Fury is off the grid. And I'm wondering if this is a reference to the events of Captain America Winter Soldier. And lastly, Coulson did clarify what the point of the skeleton thing was in the last episode. It's an alien, and there's a substance. I'm curious where they're going with that. So yeah, again, really enjoyed this episode, and I really hope the show keeps it up. And yes, there's no Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for like a month, unfortunately. But I have my Clone Wars vlogs to keep me company. Plus, next week they're doing like some video about building the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which looks really cool. And yeah, so yeah, I don't really have anything else to say on this episode except, yeah, keep it up. This is JStar260, signing out.